Alright, welcome back. As you can see, I've got another quick build by Airfix kit, VW Camper. With this one, I'm going to modify it to look like, I suppose, like a flatbed truck, flatbed van. Not really sure what they're called. As you can see, at the moment, I'm just measuring out some plastic card to fill out the back of the van to make the truck bed. These are all rough-ish cuts at the moment, just to get things in place. I'm finding I'm having to go backwards and forwards between sections before I can get them to fit properly. Here you can see me cutting one of the windows in half. It's quite strong plastic, but it's really easy to cut a few scores and you can snap it. Followed by a bit of a filing down to remove any rough and sharp edges, and it's, to be fair, pretty good. Here you can see why I've had to cut that window in half. To the right of the screen you can see the van, and where you can see now that the cab is stopped, that is exactly where it's going to stop. Had I not cut that window in half, it would have stuck out the back of the cab, making the piece I'm cutting now, I won't be able to fit it. Basically what I'm making here is out of plastic card again. I'm making the panel for the back of the cab, and what I'm cutting at the moment is the aperture for the glass to go in. I decided to go real steady with this. The window that's going in, it's not flat, it's very three-dimensional, and I thought it'd be quite tricky to fit. So I thought start off with a small hole and just chip away until I get somewhat reasonable fit. So using various shape files, I'm just filing away at corners and edges, and you'll see eventually I do actually get it to fit reasonably well. It could be better, I suppose, but ultimately this is going to be a work van, so it is going to be knocked about and bashed up a little bit anyway, so I don't suppose it matters too much. So as you can see, I've got a few more bits cut, and things are starting to take shape where the bed of the truck is concerned. Just a little bit more fettling and that bit just dropped in there. I was actually trying to work out how to glue this together with it being an unusual shape, and it suddenly dawned on me. Leave it in place and apply some glue. I've really been looking forward to this bit. I've had this rotary tool for quite some time now and using it in other hobbies that I have. I've never actually used it in modelling as yet. Anyway, what I decided to do was try and add a few dents, scratches, scuff marks, and grind some areas away to resemble rust patches, a bit of decay. I actually really enjoyed doing this. I've done it all with like a drum sanding attachment, and just dig it in and then sort of take the bear away. It's quite easy to do. I realise that if I don't give it too much thought and just touch it wherever, it should work out quite well. Likewise with the rotary tool, I decided to use my hot foam cutter to melt a couple of areas to represent dents and scratches. Again, I really enjoyed this process too. I've never done it before, but as you can see, like many people say, you can, to the top left of the screen, you can see all that horrible smoke. I never really thought about it. I should have maybe gone outside or whatever, put a mask on or something. But obviously, I just didn't realise the amount of smoke that was coming off it at the time. So really, you've got to be careful. So this bit's quite explanatory. I've got all the dents and scratches and what have you I wanted put into the bodywork, so I'm just basically painting everything with a brown undercoat using acrylic paint. Like in one of my previous builds, the Volkswagen Beetle, I intend on spraying this with airspray and then rubbing the top coat, whatever colour that's going to be, away to expose the brown, hopefully giving a rust effect. I'd just like to mention, while this hellishly long clip is playing, I'm doing these voiceovers just to talk through what I'm doing. I don't think you're an idiot. It's just what I wanted to do this time. But I want to apologise about the quality of audio. Everything I film and edit, I do on my mobile phone, and for some reason, the microphone ain't very good. Hopefully, soon, I'm going to try and get a cheap lavalier microphone, and hopefully that might improve some of the audio quality. Also, sorry for constantly saying and me stuttering. I never plan any of these things. I just talk, just get on with it. So now I'm continuing with the bed of the truck. I need to build the sides up because I want to cover up the, I suppose, Lego connection looking things. Um, so obviously, as you already seen, I've got the bed of the truck covered. So this is, building up the sides and the back end. So now I'm just applying a few dots of super glue here and there. I actually wanted to use the Tamiya model kit cement, but I'm finding for whatever reason it doesn't work very well on this plasticard stuff. Don't know why. I was told by the model shop it would be ideal for it, but for whatever reason it's not. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. In previous kits I've actually forgotten to paint the inside of the vehicle that I've done. For once I remembered, so I'm just sat now painting various bits of the cab, that I know will be exposed once put together. I'm painting it now because the way it's going, I'm going to have bits of glue here and there, and I won't be able to get it apart again like I have been able to with other kits. So I'm going to get this covered with the final body colour, my mistake, and that should sort it out really. I noticed in previous kits that when I've forgotten to paint the inside, it really stands out and it spoils the look of it. You can work really hard on it and then you just get this one thing that spoils the whole model. So I made a point of doing it this time. As this kit was a camper van, there are obviously going to be panel lines where doors open and or slide open or whatever. I wanted to try and get rid of some of them joints, so I grabbed a bit of filler and started rubbing it into them. You'll see eventually that for whatever reason it didn't really work so well. Maybe there was a bit of shrinkage in the filler that I used, because as you will see when I paint it, you can still see where the lines are. So I was quite disappointed really. However, you know, it's all part of the learning process, I suppose, and if I do something like this again, I'll maybe use a better filler. So as you can see, it's really starting to come together now. Um, I need to glue the back of the cab on that panel that I made. Luckily, I spotted that I'd forgotten to put the seat in. So as you can see, putting a bit of glue in and pop the seat in. I very nearly missed it. I just happened to look up at something else and saw the seat sat on my desk, and it was quite a relief that I'd caught it in time. Obviously now applying some glue to the inside of the cab back panel, and that'll fit nicely into place. Right, onto the roof. I was kind of dreading this bit a little because it's the last major body modification part I needed to do, and I thought if I get this wrong, the whole model's ruined. Luckily, I made a decent cut. It was the correct size, and turns out well in the end. Okay, so what you can see here is me sanding down smooth some plasticard that I used to fill up the bit of hole in the roof. I forgot to film it, but basically all I did was cut a couple of bits of plasticard, bent them into shape, cut them into shape, and glued them. I like to leave things like this a little bit proud, and then I can file or sand it to fit. I find it easier doing it that way. I find I get a better fit in the long run. Then obviously I'm just applying a brown powder coat, um, and that's pretty much it on this part really. Quite self-explanatory. So finally got around to putting the main body colour on. I've made a mistake. I wanted to wash away some of the top colour to expose the brown paint to simulate rust. However, in my excitement of getting the body colour on, I forgot to spray the model with hairspray. So what I'm going to have to do is do a test patch and see if it works. Great. If it don't, I'm going to have to think of something else to apply rust. Just a bit getting too far ahead of myself. Rushing. I've quite annoyed myself, really, making that mistake. So I decided to put the body down and just concentrate on painting some of the smaller parts up, wheel trims or hubcaps, whatever you want to call them, and door handles, the bumpers, things like that. I needed to calm myself down a little bit. As I say, I'd got a bit ahead of myself. I was rushing, and it's cost me, hasn't it? So I don't know. With a bit of luck, I'll find another method to do it. Right, so here I am just applying the last few bits. Like with everything else, they all clip together pretty much like Lego, so there's no need for glue. However, I suppose if you wanted to glue them, it wouldn't hurt, but up to now, with my experience of these kits, you don't really need to. Again, pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. Just painting in indicators and brake lights. With these kits, you do get some stickers supplied with the kit, not decals but actual stickers. And as much as I love these kits, personally, I think they're shit. But then again, these kits are made for kids, I suppose. But either way, easy enough to paint on. Red, orange, about covers it really. It's now time to do a bit of weathering. I've actually been really nervous about doing this bit because I figured it's either gonna go really right or really wrong. Anyway, my girlfriend bought me the weathering set I've just shown you a few seconds back. I'm not sure where she got it from, but it cost £10. You get 6 different colours, all powders, and you can just see one of the pots to the right of the screen now. And initially I thought, well, these won't last very long, but after doing this whole vehicle in it, I noticed that I used barely any. And in all honesty, I think these pots are going to last quite a while. Not only that, I'm really, really happy with the results it gave. And apparently you can use them watered down or with water added to it, but I've yet to try that. I think the colours that come in this weathering kit are what you'd maybe consider earthy tones. You know, like black, green, brown and so on. There's even a white in there. Based on this brown one, which they've called like a rust red. I'm really actually looking forward to trying out the others as well. They look really, really good. So this is the artwork on the front of the box of how you can build it. However, as you have seen, I chose to do things very differently. I've taken quite a few bits away and added some of my own. I'd like to thank you all very, very much for watching this long video. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and like what I've done, please feel free to leave me a comment or send me a message. I always try and reply to each and every one. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it all. Please come back, hit the thumbs up, etc. And I'll see you in my next video.